The rivalry between Iran and Israel is one of the most intense and dangerous in the modern Middle East. It is not simply a matter of political disagreements, but a deep conflict of ideology, regional power, and survival. Israel views Iran as its most serious threat, citing Tehran's calls for the destruction of the Jewish state, its support for militant groups such as Hezbollah and Hamas, and above all, its suspected nuclear ambitions. Iran, in turn, portrays Israel as an illegitimate occupier and an extension of Western influence in the region. This bitter hostility has fueled decades of shadow wars, cyber attacks, and proxy battles fought far from either country's borders. In this video, we are going to talk about Iran versus Israel war. Does Iran really have nukes? Before we start the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Let's start the video. Iran's nuclear program began long before the world started ringing alarm bells. In the 1950s, under the U.S.-backed Shah, Iran joined the Atoms for Peace program, receiving American support for civilian nuclear energy. Ironically, the very foundation of Iran's nuclear capabilities was laid with Western help. After the 1979 Islamic Revolution, the new regime abandoned close ties with Washington, but the nuclear knowledge remained. Over the years, Iran pushed forward, claiming its program was purely peaceful, centered around energy production. But suspicions soon grew. Why enrich uranium beyond the levels needed for power plants? Why build underground facilities fortified against airstrikes? Questions piled up, and Israel, along with much of the West, grew deeply concerned. Israel's fears are rooted not just in strategy, but in history. The Jewish state has faced existential threats since its birth in 1948. The thought of a hostile nation like Iran acquiring nuclear weapons is, for Israeli leaders, intolerable. Israel has long maintained a doctrine of preemptive action to prevent such a scenario. In 1981, it bombed Iraq's Osirak reactor before it could go online. In 2007, it struck a suspected Syrian nuclear facility. The message was clear: Israel will not allow its enemies to gain nuclear arms. Iran, therefore, sits squarely in its crosshairs. But unlike Iraq or Syria, Iran is larger, more sophisticated, and better prepared for confrontation. The central mystery remains: does Iran already have a bomb? Officially, the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, has never confirmed the existence of Iranian nuclear weapons. Reports suggest Iran has enriched uranium to levels close to weapons grade, but the final step, weaponization, remains unproven. Tehran insists its program is peaceful and meant only to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Yet satellite images, intelligence leaks, and reports from defectors paint a murkier picture. Some analysts argue Iran already has the capability to assemble a crude nuclear device within months, should it choose to. Others believe it is deliberately stopping short, maintaining what is known as a nuclear threshold status, a position where it can build a bomb quickly, but does not yet cross the line. Israel does not buy Iran's assurances. Israeli intelligence has repeatedly claimed that Iran's nuclear program has hidden military dimensions. In 2018, Israeli agents carried out a daring operation, smuggling out thousands of documents from a Tehran warehouse that allegedly detailed Iran's secret work on nuclear weapons designs. To Israel, this was proof that Iran had lied to the world. To Iran, it was simply old research, abandoned years ago. The ambiguity is strategic. By keeping the world guessing, Iran gains leverage. It can use its nuclear progress as a bargaining chip in negotiations, or as a deterrent against attack, without openly defying the non-proliferation treaty it signed. Meanwhile, Israel's own nuclear arsenal looms in the background. Though never officially confirmed, Israel is widely believed to possess around 80 to 100 nuclear warheads, developed in secret during the 1960s with French assistance. This nuclear ambiguity has served Israel well. It never admits to having nuclear weapons, but its enemies know it does. This silent deterrent forms the backbone of Israel's security strategy.